Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Filter Gen Z. We are young Americans who are fighting to defend the truth, and that is God's truth. We're not ashamed of our faith here. We're not trying to be filtered by any news or anything. We're completely ourselves and completely real. That's why it's called No Filter. Hashtag No Filter. I'm joined today with John and Fadana. Thank you guys for coming back on the show. And today we're going to talk about some economy things that we're seeing from both of the candidates, since we're literally a few weeks away from the election. Like, it's crazy. We're so close. We're right here. So I think one of the most important issues on people's minds is the economy. You know, that's what's actually going to be changing your life, your day-to-day life, depending on who's elected. So the newest thing I've seen is Kamala brought out this new plan for Black Americans only, which
Okay.
okay, like I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. But when things are racist, we have to call it out on each side, right? It can't just only be on when it's a white person, you know? So we're going for everything. So look at this. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Now, this is actually their ad. Like, this is what they said. The first thing is provide 1 million loans that are fully forgivable up to $20,000 for Black entrepreneurs and others to start a business. And then the second thing is support education, training, mentorship programs that lead to good paying jobs for Black men, and then protect cryptocurrency investments so Black men who make them know their money is safe. So my question is, if we're actually voting for someone to be the leader of our country, why should their plan only be for a certain group of people? Like, John, you want to start?
Um, I don't know, Camden, why this is an idea. I mean, this just brings more controversy. I think it's not.
More division.
not it's yeah, more division. We're trying to eliminate division, and I think in the future we should like totally eliminate the word racism.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I should know for Don as a woman, not a black woman. That's how I would like to know
Right.
people in different color. I wouldn't like to. I mean, yeah, for description you can describe someone that way, but I would like to know someone just for man and woman. I don't want to add more division. I think just and people will take advantage of this and use it to create their own twisted views. And I don't think this is a way for a leader to go about eliminating this issue.
No. How about you, Fidana? What are your thoughts on this? I mean, just looking at it, it's kind of one sided.
Oh my God, it's like this is the last minute show. She's trying to pull everything that she can to get the vote. We're seeing
Yeah.
that a lot of black men their eyes are basically being open. And I think this is just discrimination at its finest. I feel like race was created to bring a lot of segregation and division. This country is already divided enough as it is. And then you're going to create $1 million loan for African Americans.
They say
Like,
that as if there's no white men struggling either. Like, what?
it doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, like, why don't you sign into law to build up the border
Yeah.
right now? That's what Americans have been talking about for the longest. Why are you now trying to reach black men? It's just funny to me that she's very desperate and she's trying to do whatever she can. And it just shows you how Democrats view African Americans. They don't view them as equal because one, you're thinking they're not smart
That's
enough
what I
to
was
make
gonna
it
say.
out on their own.
Yeah, it's a voting tactic to get the Black men to vote for her, but then it's actually reverse of success, because that by saying that means she doesn't think that they're capable of paying back their loans like other
Exactly.
races are. That's racism, is it not?
Yep. Yep. The thing that she could do with that money is she could invest it in HBCUs, like the
Yeah.
universities. Okay, help them there. But specifically targeting African American men, that just seems a little fishy and sketchy. I mean, we all know previously when Joe Biden was running back in 2020, he was saying, "You're not black if you don't vote for me." This is the same
He literally
tactics
said that.
Democrats have used.
And then Obama actually, like last week, a few weeks ago, he had a speech talking about like trying to get black men to vote for Kamala as well. And so you see all these leaders in the Democrat Party targeting on the basis of race. Like, you don't see that in Trump's campaign right now. He's saying that the only way that we can all get united is through success, and that is not success doesn't see race. It doesn't see gender. It's about
Right.
Americans having success. So, John, do you think that we should even be seeing color at all, or is this something that we should say Americans should have this for success?
I think America should lead by example, and we really want to eliminate the word, like I said, just the fact of just discrimination or race.
Yeah,
Uh, every woman and man should be not recognized or anything to their color. I think if that's what we're striving to, that's what we should strive to be. Race was long left in the past, and it shouldn't be pushed forward to future generations if we're trying to improve and eliminate that.
it's funny because they say that Trump is the racist candidate. Like all they talk about is how Trump is racist. But then if you really look at the campaigns on when they're going to these rallies, if you watch Kamala's rallies, she changes her accent based on who she's in front of. She'll go to a black area and start talking with like this black accent, or she'll go to a Hispanic area and then change her accent. Like that, that's so stupid. Is that not like
He's a good actor, I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
it's more acting than really. I don't know. I don't think that should be the leader of our country. But Fernando, what do you say to the people that say Trump is the racist?
To be honest with you, I think they just use it as a way so then that way people won't really look into all the interviews Trump has done and the success that he has done for the United States. I just think that's the reason why they say it,
Mm,
because they're fearful when Trump gets in power, the things that he's going to be able to do to bring prosperity to our country. And they want to just continue keeping America down, funding the LGBTQ agenda. That's basically their main agenda. I don't even know why Barack Obama the other day was scolding African American men when he's not even African American himself. And even Kamala, both of them are not African American. It's hilarious to me. Don't scold them, Barack Obama. While you were in office, you didn't even do anything for Black men.
yeah,
Now all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you want to shoot some hoops, scold them, give them a pep talk. Like, get out of here.
and that's the
Get
same.
out of here.
That's the
Go back to the hole that you were in. We don't want to hear from you.
that's the same thing that Kamala is doing. Is when she goes in front of these people, she's trying to get the votes, and what they do is they play identity politics. They base of their whole thing on your identity, so they appeal to those groups when that's not going to change your life. That leader's not going to actually do anything, implement things that are going to change us. But Trump actually had a plan for all Americans. I'm going to show you guys that now, which is um, not this one. This one. No tax on tips, Social Security, or overtime. And that's not for just black people. That's not just for white people. That's for all Americans. And I think that these three things could actually get a lot of people to support him. John, what do you think about those?
About these no tax
Yeah.
on tips also. I think honestly, I think this is a really smart move and something that is a great move by Trump because you see people are struggling and this is one way to boost the economy and boost people's income. People are going to have the extra cash to actually use for whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Bring some extra cash to people and try to avoid people from living paycheck to paycheck. Pursue a happiness. With that extra cash, we're gonna have be able to do that. And I think this is great for those service members who are working in a police department or similar service jobs
Yeah.
who aren't who are probably making like 60, 80K. With this, it'll help fight against the inflation that we have. I think that no tips on overtime is huge.
Yeah.
If someone works overtime, makes 60 or 80K, you can be looking at over 120K easily. Maybe double. It could be double the salary, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think that's a
it's
brilliant
huge.
move. It's a brilliant
And,
move to say no tax on overtime
yeah,
because that's putting the money back to the Americans who are working hard. That's
yeah,
an
absolutely.
incentive to work harder is
Yeah,
to take those taxes away. So
and
Fidana, what do you think about
I,
those?
To be honest with you, I think that's a great plan because when I used to work overtime and then like when it would come down to payday and then you would see how much of your money that the government would take. And it's like, first of all, why are you taking this much money from me when you didn't even help me work those hours? So I think that's honestly an amazing plan that Donald Trump is bringing to the economy. And I think it's going to even help with the inflation. It's going to help with Americans to be able to feed their families because for 3 years and a half now, we have been struggling very badly. Back in the day, I used to have a little bit of wiggle room. Now it just seems like I'm just working paycheck to paycheck, and I hate it. I hate it with this Biden Harris administration and this economy they have created. It's ridiculous, honestly.
And that is the biggest thing for Americans. I think that's probably the biggest problem from their administration is how much inflation has gone up under them. And we'll get into that right now. But one thing with Kamala is she says she has these plans to fix it, but she's been in office for 3.5 years. Why hasn't she done these things that she talks about doing while she's in the administration, John?
Honestly, I don't know Cam. She's
Me
been in
neither.
power. She I mean, she's the second most powerful person with influence on this government.
In the
Uh,
free world.
yeah, in the free
And,
world
and
too.
Biden's not even doing anything. Like he's on the beach for most of the time, which means Kamala is, supposed to be doing something. She's not doing anything.
I
Well, we see what
I
she's
don't know.
doing. She's trying to buy African American men votes. That's what she's busy trying to do.
Instead of trying to fix the problems that she created.
Exactly.
Did you see that Fox News interview? I mean,
Yes, yes, the new one with Brett Baer. Yeah. So I saw some clips. You guys want to talk about that?
All she was doing is basically blaming Trump. Any questions
Almost
that
every
they
answer,
asked
really.
her, she just magically had a way of putting Trump in it. First of all, Trump is not president these 3.5 years. You and Biden have been in office. Take responsibility. Say that you guys didn't do what you needed to do, all that you promised Americans that you were going to go and do, and you didn't fulfill not one of those promises. If anything, you made things worse. So just be a grown woman, put your big girl pants on, and say, you know what? We screwed up. But no, Trump did this. Oh, he's racist. Did you see what he was talking about? The Americans, how they're the ones that's trying to harm. It's just defense within. It's like, what are you talking about?
They can't
Answer the question. Get
they
to the point,
they
lady.
they can't take accountability for anything. And when she was asked from Brett Baer why hasn't she done any of the things that she says she would do, she answered with Trump has been in politics for 10 years. Like, you're the vice president of the United States. He's not even in office right now. By the way, when he was, inflation was down. Now he's not. And Kamala answers with that. John, what do you take from that? Is that some kind of indicator that she doesn't know what she's doing?
I think so. And it's not like she hasn't been asked this question before.
Yeah.
She could have made an effort and get prepared for this question. She knew it was coming.
I know.
She's been asked this question. It's not a good look.
No, it's not. And then to what I was going to show you guys before, this one was the inflation compared from Trump's administration to the Biden Harris one. And that says it all, I think. When Harris doesn't have a plan and she can't fix her own problems, what makes anyone think that she's going to be able to do it if she gets back in office as the president, Fidana, do you think this chart, should tell the average American voter what could
Of
help
course,
their problems?
of course, the statistics always speak. What's on paper, the numbers don't lie. It's people that lie and try to make it seem like the numbers are lying. Obviously, based on the chart, we've seen that America was performing better under Trump's leadership. Honestly, she's just so busy, always talking about the enemy within. The enemy within is the government being against the people. That's who Trump was trying to bring light to. He was
Yeah.
even saying, they're not after me, they're after you guys. And we can see that they do not care about promoting anything for Americans. They
Mm-mm.
don't.
And then if you look at the chart with the gas and oil and stuff like that, energy was better under Trump because he knew that American energy has to stay in America. But what
Right.
this administration right now has been doing is they've been distributing it to other countries and getting that from that. And so we're now dependent on other countries
Yeah.
for our energy, our oil, and all these things. So of course it's going to be more expensive. John, do you think this should, like, same question I asked for Donna, should this tell the average American something about this election?
I mean, of course, this is what you want for next 4 years, and this is what you had the last 3 years. Only a person who's arrogant would say otherwise, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, or uneducated, and America should not be dependent on other countries. I would like, me personally, I would like to America to slowly start parting ways with being dependent on other countries and being self-dependent.
Yeah.
And this could help with several things: the economy. You know, other countries can't threaten us with XYZ thing. We have more leverage. You
Yeah.
know.
And that's what makes me think Trump is the pro-American candidate. Like he wants stuff to be back in this country and not other people like Walls, who was in China and then he wasn't when he says he was. Like there's so many foreign relations with these other people, but Trump wants stuff in America. And I can't lie, guys. I don't need that chart to tell me that all this is going on. Like if I go to the gas station now compared to 4 years ago, it's completely different. Everything's expensive to get
Yeah.
gas, to go in and get a drink. Like everything's more expensive now, and that's just a consequence of the Harris and Biden administration. And if we don't want that again, if we want to actually be able to afford stuff, we have to have a change in this election. And we're literally down to the wire. But one thing that they talk about a lot is forgiving student loans. So I want to just ask you guys your opinion before I give mine. Fidana, what's your opinion on Kamala's, rhetoric and her plans to forgive student loans, and what would that do to America?
To be honest with you, with because there's always been this conversation with forgiving student loans.
Yeah.
There's no way they could really forgive students loans. It's just a way, it's just a tactics that they use to try to lure more votes in. To be honest with you, something that I would recommend when a child is going to school is to really think about the degree that you're gonna go and promote. If you're gonna um, go and get a stupid degree that you know is not really going to make you any money,
Gender
and then you
studies?
accumulate. Yeah, you anyways, and then you accumulate all this debt, and then you're expecting Americans to pay for it. And my thing is, what did you learn? That there's two genders, that the 72 genders nonsense is not real? Is that what you learned? I mean, I would hope that would be the common sense that whoever it is that go in there studying that would learn. But anyways, I don't think it's up to anyone to be paying anybody's debt. Like, go into college. If whatever it is that you're going to pursue is not going to make you that much money, go learn a trade, or just take time to figure out what you really want to do, and just master your creativity. But you shouldn't go into college accumulating so much debt and then trying to blame it on someone else to pay for it. That is entitlement
Yeah.
to the T. I am tired of entitled Americans thinking people should pay for things for them. Like, wake up, take responsibility for yourself.
Man, you nailed it. I think the same thing. We are college age Americans. We know what it's like and the amount of money it is now. And of course, it should be cheaper, but I have never once thought that someone else should pay for my debt. Like, I've changed my
Exactly.
mind of my career. I've made decisions, I've made mistakes, and I've changed my mind, and now I have debt. But that's my debt. I'm not going to make other Americans pay for
Right.
that, and I don't want anyone to, because that is my responsibility, just like you're talking about. They don't take accountability, and that's why they're pro-Democrat, because they want the government to take care of their problems, which is never going to work. It's a voting tactic. John, what are your thoughts on these student loan forgiveness plans?
So I agree. Someone should really take really consideration into what they're gonna study.
Yeah.
Go to get a degree that actually is somewhat relevant. Um, Whether student loan debt, when a student loan's debt is forgiven, is it actually forgiven, or is the country going more in debt? I'm not too sure.
That's a good point.
So it's setting America up to failure. Now, with school education, I think this country needs to do a better job of making school more affordable.
Me
I
too.
think
Me too.
the school system's a little corrupt. Or maybe wrong word. I don't know. But I
I
think
don't disagree.
I think it's a little too expensive. Um, we should be encouraging students to go to school,
Yeah.
right? But students aren't encouraged anymore to go to school and get an education because it's so expensive. So I think there needs to be that side that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Um, Regarding loan debt, I think if we start with school being less expensive, we can go pursue more in depth conversation about that topic. But it starts with the person being responsible what they're going to study, and the government helping out, taking care of this expensive school issue.
Yeah.
And regarding loan debt, we can, that if those two things are taken care of, then we can have another conversation about loan debt.
Yeah, you
But
make you make a great point that we what would that fix, because we already our country is $1 trillion in debt. So if
mhm,
we just forgive all that, it's adding to that debt. So it's not actually fixing the problem, it's just putting it on someone else.
yeah,
So I think, I mean, school's way too expensive. We got to do
yeah,
something about that. But you're right, that's the first step we should take. Um,
mhm,
so yeah, that's the whole thing. You can't just forgive everyone's debt and oh, magic.
yeah, but
Someone's going to pay for it,
Yeah.
whether it's their tax dollars, but it's going to come from somewhere. And it's like, just like John said, it has to be affordable. But there just has to be an end to just the nonsense that the Democrats have been enforcing all these years. I mean, Joe Biden, that was the biggest thing that he was promoting from the beginning with college age students saying, I'm going to forgive your student loan debt. You haven't done jack for students. Like, sit down and be
It,
quiet. Like,
and it
we don't
sounds
want to
good.
hear from you.
The whole thing is they say things that sound good, that would actually, it makes you want to vote for them, for those people, because they think that they're going to fix their problems. But yeah,
False
exactly.
promises,
Exactly.
but cannot deliver. That's it.
Yeah.
uh, regarding student loan debt, I think there could be maybe there could be more opportunities for people to earn, uh, school to be paid for.
Yeah.
You change your time, your service for school pay. That's something. I'm in the military. I signed a contract. I'm exchanging my time and my service and my hard work for the government to pay for my school. Right.
Mhm.
I think there needs to be more opportunities for that for the general public. You know, that supporting kids to go to school, and that's where it comes in.
That's a good point.
But yeah,
I myself had a scholarship from Bright Futures, which was in Florida. It's like you take a test. If you do good on it and you have good grades, then you can get this scholarship to pay for some of your college. So it does make sense. I think if you reward students for doing good, and it gives them an incentive to work harder, and that's what we want in the workforce too. Because when you go out and get a job, you want the incentives to work harder to get the money, and that's how
yeah,
America will strive, I think. And then the
mm,
last topic for today, guys, is we got two billionaires in this that are each supporting a different candidate.
yeah,
Mark Cuban loves
yeah.
Kamala, but Elon Musk is now endorsing Trump. So which billionaire has it right, guys? And I just don't understand, with policy wise, how they could differ so much in both, whatever. What do you guys think?
I
John, you want to go?
yeah, I'm gonna say that we've seen what Elon Musk has done and what his goals are, and he's made it clear with his inventions and whatnot. I'm pro Republican in this election. So I mean, I'm gonna go with I support more Elon Musk. I'm not too informed on how Mark Cuban fits into his goals and what he believes.
Okay, how about you, Fidona?
To be honest with you, it's Elon Musk all the way because one, he bought X, so he was definitely promoting free speech. We have seen how previously, when Joe Biden was running, how they were trying to silence and fact check people. They're still doing it. So for Mark Cuban to be on Kamala's side, we all know they're all about silencing people. They don't really want to hear your opinions of what you think and this and that. And so I'm definitely for Elon Musk all the way. I think it's the right way. And we've seen how he is a self-made billionaire. And it just shows you hard work when you really put in the time and the effort and you use your creativity for good. It's gonna help the benefit everybody else.
Yeah, Elon Musk is definitely the freedom uh, of the two. He's pro free speech,
For
pro
sure.
pro American, really.
Yeah,
So
and pro choice in being able to express yourself,
yeah, yeah,
and not silencing you.
yeah. And then I mean, Mark Cuban, he used to be friends with Trump. There's pictures of him with Trump from years ago, and then he even in 2016 kind of supported him. But then I think Mark Cuban got his feelings hurt. Trump said something he didn't like, and then he turned into a
Yeah.
snowflake like a lot of these people. But economic wise, Trump's plans they just outperform Kamala's. It just doesn't make sense if you look at the current economy and Trump's. I think that's all it comes down to when you're looking at it from a money perspective is when did I have more money? Well, I had more money when Trump was in office. You know, I wasn't spending as much on different things because it wasn't as expensive. So
Exactly. He
that's
was successful. He was a successful, and he still is a businessman. I mean,
and you can
come on
hate the
now.
man, you can hate the
Yeah,
man, but whoever wins is bringing in 5,000 people to work for them in the government. And which one do you think has the better plan? For me, it's Trump, and I think that's why we got to vote. You know,
for
that's what we got to
sure.
vote on. It's not just a person, but the whole team that's coming in, and what are they going to do? So thank you guys for coming to this episode. I think we had a great conversation on the economy. We haven't really done that a lot, but that really nailed a lot of the problems and solutions. So you as an American, guys, if you're watching this, you decide. When did you have more money? You know, take that into consideration. Click that subscribe button. If you like free speech, definitely keep watching No Filter because we are unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetically real. And we'll see you guys next week on No Filter Gen Z.